It's impressive to see what McCook had to go through with some of those storms yesterday evening. Worth it for me to bring you closer to some of the action. We're talking storm reports over the past 24 hours. You'll see there were only a few in eastern Nebraska. In fact, those were only up to penny size. We're going to work our way west and then down towards southwest Nebraska because you can see a lot of action happen that way. In central Nebraska yesterday evening, also as we're working our way west, we're working our way back in time, but hail was up to an inch in the Shelton area. Wind gusts were up to 63 miles an hour in the Hastings area, but then working our way into southwestern Nebraska, really just over McCook, there were 22 reports coming in, most of those being hail, even a couple reports of funnel clouds, and really that all coming from the same stationary storm that was in the area for a little under 4 hours time. Again, hail was up to 3 inches in diameter coming out of these reports. That would be the size of a large apple or a teacup. That is bigger than tennis and baseball size hail, and we had 2 reports of funnel clouds as that storm was hooking a little bit. But here's a look at some of those hail reports. In terms of detail, it was the southwest side of town, it was the west side of town, the northwest side of town. Really all of McCook was seeing very, very large hail. So you're seeing 5 reports of 3-inch hail, if not bigger than that. And then we did have a report of baseball size hail down toward McCook on the 5 miles west out of town. But here's some pictures to also bring you closer to the action. Look at the size and diameter. On the left side of your screen there, you have a measurement stick to show you that these were 2 inches or so, if not a little bigger in diameter. You can also see the clumping to some of these hailstones. That speaks to the intensity of the updrafts in some of these thunderstorms. They're being lofted for longer times, and then they're kind of melding together some of the smaller hailstones. So impressive storm in McCook from yesterday, and it took a while for a lot of that rain to make it to the capital city this morning. But we did have a quick downpour just before 4 o'clock this morning. Low-hanging clouds really to be seen over the capital city so far this morning with a live look from our Berry log camera. We're at 67 degrees right now in Lincoln as well as in Nebraska City. A little warmer in eastern Nebraska, but a lot of temperatures are falling to the 50s in western and central Nebraska with dew points a little warmer in eastern Nebraska too, but fairly comfortable. It does have a cooler feel out there this morning with some of the recent rain and some of these winds turning to be out of the north a little bit. But overall, the coverage of the rain is a little bit better in eastern Nebraska. We're starting to see the upper levels start to support a little bit more widespread rain for the morning for southeastern Nebraska and northeastern Nebraska. There is still rain, though. It's trying to move into, unfortunately, the McCook area. Once again, they had over 5 inches of rain overnight, and now they look to add to that. Flash flooding was an issue down there as well, so they just kind of got hit with everything. But our first wave of thunderstorms now moving to the east, and now we're looking forward to this area of rain to give us a little bit more because we haven't seen much through the morning. I think the airport had 0.02 of an inch here at the station, a little under 1/10 of an inch. But rain will still be in the area through the end of this morning. And then as we head into this afternoon, coverage is going to turn out to be a little bit more widespread, and then even into the evening hours tonight. Still can't rule out a spotty thunderstorm out there before we turn to more dry time into the first part of Thursday. But as we're talking about additional rainfall after the morning show and into tomorrow morning, maybe up to 1/4 of an inch in some spots, especially from here on east toward the Missouri River. Storms will still be possible tomorrow, largely for the second part of the day today. Chances really drop off, only a small chance on Friday. And then we're looking more dry over this weekend. That'll bode well for the Michigan game before we start out a little warmer for fall next week.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Only